November 22, 1963. Dallas. A morning bathed in sunlight. Crowds line the streets, waving flags, smiling, cheering for the president. In an open limousine, sitting beside the charming Jackie, is John F. Kennedy. He waves warmly to the citizens. It seems like an ordinary, even joyful day. But in mere moments, it will turn into a nightmare that will change American history forever. At 12:30 p.m., gunshots ring out. The limousine slows down. The president's head jerks backward. Screams, panic, chaos. Jackie frantically tries to hold on to her husband, but he is already dead. Thus began one of the darkest chapters in U.S. history. The official version states, Lee Harvey Oswald, firing from the 6th floor of the Texas School Book Depository, shot 3 times, one of which was fatal. Case closed, culprit found. But is it really that simple? The deeper we dive into the details, the more inconsistencies emerge. Why did the investigation so quickly conclude that Oswald was the sole assassin? Why are key documents still classified? Why did witnesses who saw something unusual that day die under mysterious circumstances? We live in a world of official versions. But what if the truth is entirely different? Let's recall the key points. Authorities claim the assassin fired 3 shots. The first missed, the second passed through Kennedy's neck and hit Texas Governor John Connally, and the third was the fatal shot. But let's think about it. The so-called magic bullet took an unbelievable path. It entered Kennedy's neck, then went through Connally's back and chest, exited his wrist, and lodged in his thigh. 6 wounds, and the bullet remained almost intact? That defies the laws of physics. Ballistics experts have tried for years to recreate such a trajectory, but without success. If the bullet couldn't have done this, then there must have been more than one shooter. Here's another issue. Oswald was on the 6th floor of the book depository, but many witnesses claimed they heard gunshots from the grassy knoll, a small hill in front of the motorcade. Some even saw silhouettes and muzzle flashes there. Yet their testimonies were either ignored or deemed unreliable by the Warren Commission. Why? Why not investigate all possibilities? Perhaps because someone already knew the truth and didn't want it uncovered. Oswald himself is another mystery. A former Marine, a decent marksman, but not a sniper. In 1959, he unexpectedly defected to the USSR, lived in Minsk, then returned to America. During the height of the Cold War, he was allowed back without interrogation, without security checks. Or was he useful to someone? His trail leads to the CIA, FBI, and even Cuban agents. Oswald always claimed he was set up. His last words, "I'm just a patsy." 2 days later, he was killed, right inside a police station. Jack Ruby, a nightclub owner with criminal connections. The official story? He acted out of anger, seeking justice. But since when do people with mafia ties suddenly become crusaders for justice? Later, in prison, Ruby begged for protection, claiming he too would be silenced. He died before he could fully testify. There are many theories. One of the most popular, the CIA Kennedy was a problem for intelligence agencies. After the failed Bay of Pigs invasion, he lost trust in the CIA and even considered disbanding it. Could his assassination have been revenge for his attempts to control the system? Another theory, the Mafia. JFK and his brother, Robert Kennedy, launched a war on organized crime. Mob boss Sam Giancana allegedly said the Mafia helped Kennedy win the election, but he repaid them with a crackdown on crime. Giancana was later shot in the head just before he was due to testify about JFK's murder. Then there's internal politics. Vice President Lyndon B. Johnson instantly became the most powerful man in the country. Before that, his popularity was declining, and he risked losing the next election. But after Kennedy's assassination, he took power and escalated the Vietnam War, a war JFK had tried to avoid. What if Kennedy's assassination wasn't just about one man, but part of a much larger, more sinister game? This wasn't just a murder. It looked like a carefully planned operation, designed to confuse the investigation, create a convenient scapegoat, and bury the truth forever. There's another strange fact: the film recordings. The Zapruder film is the only known video capturing the moment of the assassination. But later, it turned out that many other recordings were either confiscated by the government or mysteriously disappeared. Witnesses who filmed the event claimed their footage was taken by men in black suits who identified themselves as federal agents. Why? What didn't they want the world to see? Shortly after Kennedy's assassination, a mysterious man was detained in Dallas. He claimed to be a federal agent and was given access to the crime scene. He was later found to be neither an agent nor a policeman. He simply vanished. Who was he? An organizer? A link between the shooters and the masterminds? But perhaps the most chilling part of this case is the strange deaths of witnesses. In the years following Kennedy's assassination, over 50 people connected to the case died under suspicious circumstances: car crashes, accidents, sudden heart attacks, suicides. Too many coincidences. One key witness, a police officer who was the first to arrive at the book depository, was found dead in his home. Cause of death? Overdose. But those who knew him swore he never used drugs. Another witness, a mechanic, claimed he saw men with rifles on the grassy knoll. 1 month after his testimony, he died in a car crash. And there are dozens more such cases. Here's something else rarely mentioned. One day before Kennedy's assassination, some CIA personnel received urgent orders to destroy or classify certain documents. Coincidence? Or did someone already know what was about to happen? And the conspiracy didn't end there. Less than 5 years later, Kennedy's younger brother, Robert, was also assassinated. He was on the path to winning the presidency, promising to reopen the investigation into his brother's death, but was shot by Sirhan, a lone gunman. Yet again, a lone assassin. Yet again, an official version full of inconsistencies. Sirhan, who had been under surveillance by intelligence agencies, barely remembered the shooting. Hypnotic influence? Mind control? It seems we're dealing with more than just a single crime, but a series of operations designed to eliminate those who threaten certain powers. If Kennedy's murder wasn't just the work of the mafia or CIA, but part of a global game, then who was really behind it? Hidden elites? The deep state? Powerful forces that rule the world from the shadows? Decades later, thousands of documents remain classified. Some were recently released, but key pages are either missing or redacted. Why? The assassination of Kennedy was more than just a tragedy. It was a turning point, the moment the world realized those who truly rule remain unseen. So, what really happened that day? We only have fragments of truth. The rest is buried under secrecy, fear, and lies. Maybe one day the truth will emerge. Or maybe it was never meant to be known. It's up to you to decide.